This episode is brought to you by Skimmer. Trusted by over 30,000 pool service pros across North America, Skimmer software helps you save time, grow revenue, and boost your 5-star reviews. Whether you're just starting out or owning the market, Skimmer's easy-to-use tools and expert support have you covered. Upgrade your business in 2025 with Skimmer. Visit getskimmer.com/tip of the day to try Skimmer for free for 30 days.
Now sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride, and listen to the big homie Pete the Pool Guy. Dropping game, keep it real, put the knowledge on deck. From backyard pools to collecting them checks. Ain't no gimmicks, no stress, just some free flow talk. Breaking bread, building up, gotta walk that walk. From the chlorine to the hustle, every move got a plan. If you work it the right way, you can level up, man. Pool podcast, let's vibe. Game so deep, let's ride. From the valley to the masses, we know. Let it flow, let it flow, let it flow. Pool podcast, let's vibe. Game so deep, let's ride. From the valley to the masses, we know. Let it flow, let it flow, let it flow.
What's going on, guys? Pete the Pool Guy here. Welcome to the Pool Food Podcast. This is going to be our very first video interview. I got JayMoney here with me. What's up, Jay?
Top of the morning, pool party people. What's up, Pete?
Top of the morning. I'm good, bro. I'm good. How was your week, first of all?
Oh, my week's awesome, dude. It starts off with a early AM workout, and from that point on, it just kicks ass.
Yeah. So on this episode, we're gonna get to know Jay a little bit more, man. We got to start the interview a couple episodes before and got to hear your story on how'd you get into the pool game, and a lot of people wanted to know more. They wanted to know more about Jay. They want to know your struggles, your daily routine. I know you do yoga, which is awesome. You know, you get to stretch muscles that I haven't stretched in a long time.
Yet?
Yeah, whatever.
We'll get you there.
But as I told you, I'm starting my journey on trying to get healthy. And you've been a big part of it on these stretches for me to do in the mornings. And I believe it or not, I have been doing, not consistently, but I have been doing them in the morning because I have a bad back. So in the morning, I wake up really stiff. It's hard for me to, if I'm sitting down, it's hard for me to stand up. Like I have to stretch. My wife says I have to put on a show every time I get up. But once I'm like stretched out, and I'm like, okay, I'm good. Then I start moving. So that's what happens with me. But so I've been doing that, like you said, stretch in the morning, make sure you stretch those muscles. And it's been helping me because otherwise, man, I'd be walking around like an old guy, like hunched over, you know?
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah,
What's one of your favorite moves that you do in the morning to get yourself going?
You know what? What I like to do is while I'm still in my bed, I hold on to I'm faced up, laying down faced up, and I grab on let's say I grab on my left knee with my right hand, and I stretch it to the side while my top is pointing this way, my legs are pointing this way.
Sure.
So I'll stretch.
So
like
you're twisting your body.
Yeah. I'll hold it for a minute, and then I'll do the opposite. And then what I'll do is I get up, and then I'll keep my legs straight, and I'll touch the floor and just relax my muscles as I'm touching the floor.
Folding forward.
Yes.
That's called a forward fold. It's really good. And when you
I don't know verbiage, bro.
That I'm teaching you and our listeners.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah,
of course,
yeah.
It's my dude.
Folding. What is it? Folding forward.
Forward fold.
Forward fold.
Yeah. No,
So that one helps a lot. Like I feel my lower back stretching, and then I'll turn it and I'll do one side, and I feel my sciatic stretch, and then I'll do the other side and I stretch.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
If I could share a couple of things that you can complement those stretches with, I'd love to.
Yeah, for sure.
while you're in a forward fold, just allow the crown of your head to be heavy, and maybe tuck your chin into your chest a little bit.
Okay.
You'll get some length in the back of your
Even
neck.
sitting down, going like that.
Oh,
I
yeah,
can feel
dude.
it on my shoulder,
Yeah.
between my shoulder blades.
Yeah, our head is very heavy. It's like over 10 pounds. So if that's not
Yeah,
aligned,
I learned that from what was that Tom Cruise movie with that little
he's
kid?
done a lot of them, dude. I don't know which one.
That one, the one where the little kid says, "Did you know the head weighs so and so?" You don't know which I'm talking about?
I don't.
I don't know. I don't remember the name.
Tell me later.
Yeah, when I remember. But anyways, yeah,
Your forward
stretching
fold,
is
so allow your head to hang
the crown.
heavy, and then tuck your chin slightly. And all these moves, I want you to breathe, and I want
That's what I
you,
was gonna say. I breathe out when I'm stretching. I go,
yeah,
and I kind of let myself just kind of go.
exhale exhale into the stretch. So when you're moving
Yeah.
into it, breathe in, and then exhale into it, and move with your breath, dude. Almost like the how an ocean, and how the ocean flows in and out.
And
Picture
out.
that in your mind. Use that visualization when
That's
you're
gonna
moving.
make me want to go pee, fool.
That's fine. You could do that. I mean, when you're twisting your body like that,
Yeah.
you are twisting your intestines and all of your internal organs. When you're twisting that, you're literally there's shit to this, man.
I believe you.
You're literally twisting and squeezing your internal organs. So it's really good. You're exercising your internal organs. So when you're doing those twists and stretches in your bed, it's a really good thing, because it's almost like a rag. You're like squeezing a rag.
Yeah.
The same thing you're doing with your internal organs. It's pretty cool. Like, for an example, if I may say,
Yeah.
if you have some indigestion, or even if you have a cold, if you're sick, it's really good to get into some twists, because you're twisting all the toxins out of your body.
That kind of makes sense. Yeah. There's a location that just opened up here in Palm Desert, and stretching. You
Is it
go
called
there.
the Stretch Lab?
I think so.
They
Where they
open up.
stretch you, like they help you stretch. I was like, whoa! I think I'm gonna visit it just to try it out.
Do it, dude. I've been needing to do it too. So why don't?
How'd you know about it?
Because there's a place called the Stretch Lab in Pasadena.
Oh,
Let's do this. Let's challenge ourselves. How about this?
Yeah.
I will go, you will go, and then we will both talk about it on the next episode that we do.
Heck yeah!
Done.
I like that.
Stretch
I like
Lab.
that.
And then
I'll put it on my Palm Pilot. Done.
I'm gonna write it on my notepad. Stretch Lab.
Yeah.
Oh man, we just did a plug for them. Dang it.
I know. We'll give them a call for sponsorship. Talking
We
about
should.
sponsorship, check this out. I got some great news. We got new sponsors for the Pool Fool podcast. So obviously we have Skimmer that's been helping us out, but our new sponsor is these guys right here.
Dude, that is so funny that you have that.
Blu-ray XL, bro.
I love it. I love Chris.
Yeah, we have
He's the
Blu-ray
jam.
XL. They're gonna be sponsoring the pod. We also have Revved Up Apparel. They're sponsoring the pod.
Awesome.
We also have the vac one that
Vac bags?
Yes, they're
Dude.
sponsoring the pod too.
Man.
So I have I'm working I have a couple ones. Oh, also Cyclone Filter Cleaner.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna start sponsoring the pod. Everybody's jumping in on board, bro. I'm so excited.
Good for you, dude.
And these are companies. I wanted to say this: the people that are sponsoring the pod and that I'm working closely with are companies that I personally use in my business. These are companies that I trust, that I use their stuff, and I know it works because it works for me. Might not work for you, or you might find somebody else that's better for your needs, but for me, I'm gonna only work with companies that I trust and that I work with.
The individuals that own those companies are rad people.
Oh yeah,
Rad
Yeah.
people. And
Yeah.
be, you know, beyond the product for me sometimes is like I love supporting the people behind the product
The
too.
human.
Yeah,
Yeah. No,
I really do.
Like with Primate, you're working with them, and that's awesome.
boys.
That's yeah,
My
yeah.
boys.
I have a couple of people that I need to hit up still, but I'm just so excited that people are excited to sponsor the pod. And you know what? Talking about sponsorship, I've had a lot of conversations with the videos and stuff that I post, like with other pool guys, and obviously you get negative comments and you get people like that, right? It happens with everything. It's part of it's part
part
of
of the game, dude.
It's part of the game.
I have what I call those folks in my court is the firing squad.
The firing
squad. They're all up with their rifles, dude, and they got one chambered and they just pop them off at me all the time. Boom,
Yeah.
boom, boom, like
So you get them too.
all the time, dude. All the time.
It's very interesting.
It's very interesting.
But the reason I was bringing that up
I already
was
know
because
why, but go ahead. I already know why.
because when you mention the word sponsor, they'll say, he's bought out already, or he's paid for. I've heard that already. Oh, he's just saying that because he's getting paid to say that. And it makes it seem like it's bad for you to partner up with companies and in a financial way. You know, they make it seem like it's a bad thing, like your opinion is being shifted or persuaded because of it, and you're only pushing a specific product because of the finances, and that's not always the case. I know for me is like I'm gonna partner up, and I said it. I'm reaching out to companies that I use. So it's not like these companies came to me and was like, "Hey, we'll sponsor your pod if you promote our product." You know, and then I'm promoting a product that I don't even use. Nah, homie. I'm talking about a product that I'm using in the field live every day. And I'm like, you know what? This product's real good. I mention the product all the time, like Cyclone Filter Cleaner. I'm always talking about the Cyclone Filter Cleaner because I love it. I use it all the time. Blu-ray XL, I use them all the time. I started posting videos because I just started putting them in the pools this year. And Rev'd Up Apparel, I use their shirts. Like, these are companies that I personally use that then was like, okay, well, if I'm giving them advertising, might as well, you know, get a little kickback that's going to help promote or finance the Pool Food podcast and be able to bring educational content to people. I was like, it's kind of like, it's a full circle. Does that make sense?
Yeah, of course it does. You've also mentioned before in the past that you enjoy using products that you believe in.
Heck yeah.
You know, you believe in the products, and that's who you have on deck right now as sponsors. It's
and trust me, I get hit up by everybody. Like, due to the Instagram tip of the day, Pool Food podcast, because of everything, it's like I get, oh, dude, try our product out. And it's like, I'll try it, you know, like everything, I'll try it. But if it doesn't work, then I'm not going to promote it, or I'm not going to post it or anything like that, because it didn't work for me, you know? And if it does work, then I'm going to push it. Although there are some products that I just haven't got around to using yet.
like which one?
Know? You know which one I haven't got to using is the mini bucket test.
Yeah.
And this is their little plug right now. Mini bucket test. I've been in talks with them, and they send me their, matter of fact, look at.
Oh, dude, it's still in the box.
I'm telling you, I keep forget, because I haven't had a situation where I've had to use it to check for leaks. So I'm like, I haven't had the opportunity, but I have it right here in my office. You know, when it's ready, when that situation pops up, then I'm going to use it. I'm going to make a video and go from there.
Let me know how it works, because I've always wanted to get one of those. And the last time I was at a show, at the Western, I think that they were there. I didn't have a chance to stop by their booth. Quick question right now. Do you hear an echo on my end? Okay, good.
No, you're good. Your audio's good.
Cool.
I heard your daughter, though, a little minute ago.
Yeah, she's going crazy. She's going.
How old is she? You said she's what, 6?
6. She just turned
Oh
6.
man,
Life is good, man.
life is good, but your hands are full right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mine's 14. My son's 14 and my daughter's 17.
I think it's. I think your hands are full at any age. Honestly, you know.
Yeah.
I remember when she was a baby, and some folks would say, "It'll get easier," and I'm like, "No." Like when it hasn't gotten me. There's nothing. There's. If you want to be a conscientious father, and be in it to win it, in anything, right? It's never easy. There's nothing easy.
I
at
think
all.
what they mean, because I say that too, that it gets easier. What that means is the amount of tension that you're putting into them for the basics, not getting hurt, stuff like that, is not as often when they're older. But now it shifts to other dangers and other things, like who they hang out with, what they're listening to, what are you doing in your room, stuff like that, you know. That's what I feel like. It doesn't mean it gets easier, it just shifts.
Yeah, things do shift, Pete. I think the only thing that I can say to this date right now is that the only thing that has gotten easy is not changing diapers.
That's what I mean.
Like,
it shifts.
Changing.
But now you're having to remind her, like, did you put deodorant on? Did you comb your hair? Did you brush your teeth? Don't forget.
I know.
It shifts.
We had a daddy-daughter date, which I love doing.
That's awesome.
It is.
That's awesome.
Dude, on top of the world, brother. I love being a dad. I really do.
My daughter still asks me for them. Dad, when are we going to do our daddy-daughter date? Because we love movies, so we'll go to the movies and stuff.
Bro,
like that.
you got to do it, man.
I know. But anyways, you were saying you had a daddy-daughter date with your daughter?
Yes, last night, and we went to Bob's Big Boy. They have a car show every Friday night. And,
nice.
Checked out some cars. Got a chocolate malt burger. She had a blast, dude. She had a blast. It was packed down there. It's packed down there every Friday night, but I haven't been down there in quite a while. I think she was like a baby last time I went down there, but she loves hot rods. She loves cars.
Dude, I saw a reel that said, your daughter, is God sending you your best friend for life.
Oh, dude,
and I was like, that's so true.
Is that a Bible verse?
No, it was a reel.
Oh, a reel.
Like,
sorry.
I saw on Instagram. I saw it and I was like, dude.
I was gonna take notes if there was a Bible verse, brother.
No. It was a reel. I saw that.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, that really hit home, because I feel like it's very interesting, because a lot of the stuff that I like, my daughter likes.
Yeah.
You know, and do you feel the same with your daughter? Like, you have a lot in common?
I think that we have a lot. Yes, to answer your question, yes. I think that we have a lot in common, because she will do all the things that I do together. Yeah. She loves it when, you know, she's my sidekick. So if I'm working in the yard, she's with me. You know, we're throwing frisbee together. We're working on the Chevy together. You know, we did pools together 2 weeks ago.
You took her out?
Yeah.
How many
Can
pools
I share
did she
something
hang
with you on this?
Yeah, go.
With no interruptions, please, bro.
Let me put mute. Hold on. I know. It's something I'm working on. Go.
Please be conscientious during this time when I'm telling a story. Thank you. And I mean that out of all respect. You know that.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Nice. So she.
Hey, so the other day I was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. There it is. There it is.
I have ADDD triple D with another D on the side,
I've been making tally marks of how many times you've interrupted me. And then we're going to do an after action review after this podcast. And I'm going to say, Pete. And I'm going to say it in Espanol so you can really understand. And I'm going to say, arriba.
All right, go. Nah, go. I know.
It's all good, man. She graduated from kindergarten, and the day was set where we go down, do the graduation little party thing, and then she had to be with me for the rest of at noon. She had to come with me out to work, so I worked like a half day. So after graduation, she came out with me on the route. I mean, dude, she knows how to test chems, man. And I'm not talking dropping, skipping, and dipping kind of style, dude. I'm talking like we're using the Taylor, and she's taking the test kit, man, and she's dropping and she's mixing it, man. She knows how to do it. I've only showed her a
That's
couple
so
of times.
cool.
It's crazy how good she is at it.
And she's 6.
And she's 6. She was doing this when she was 4 or 5.
Dang.
Only a handful of times too, dude. Not like, boot camp style. Like she'll
Mhm.
come out to our pool and she sees me doing it. She's like, I want to do that. I want to change the colors. She knows how to do alkalinity, dude. It's bitching. She
That's
knows,
so
like,
cool.
once it starts changing colors, she knows, and she's counting the drops. It's amazing. The point of this is, she came out with me. We did some pools together. Obviously, we're running way more slower than normal. And she kept asking me to go to she's like, I want to go to the library. I want to go to the library. I want to go to the library. And I'm like, where is this coming from? Like, we don't go to the library. She does love books because we read every night. And she's like, oh, my friend, blah, 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 went to the library. And I just want to get home, dude, because we're on our way home. And so she's falling asleep on the way home. And I was telling her, no, we're not going to go. We're not going to go. I was being selfish in my mind. I'm like, dude, come on, dude, just take her to the library, man, And then I was thinking, like, this could possibly be a rite of passage for this girl, Jay. Because, I grew up with a brother, and there were times where my brother and I had rites of passages that my folks, like your first pocket knife, and or your first rifle, things like that. Those are rite of passages for kids. Well, for certainly for my late brother and I, it was. And I'm like, let's take her to the library. So she's passed out in the car seat. I pull into the parking lot. I wake her up. I'm like, hey, I open up the door and I'm taking the seatbelt, the straps off of her car seat. And I'm like, hey, we're in the library parking lot. And her eyes just lit up, dude, like two big saucers. She got out of the car seat, got on the door sill, and jumped right into my arms. She's like, thank you, Dad, thank you, thank you. I'm like, wow, she's pumped. Long story short, at the library, we go down to the library, and I'm like, here, let's get you a library card. And she filled her name out and the address on the application, and she got her first library card, and she checked out her first book. It was a Garfield cartoon book, whatever, like that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we're walking up the stairs, and I was trying to think about, like, what could I say that would be very simple, that would make her feel that she has, like, arrived in this moment, right? Like she's growing up and she feels like she's accomplished something, on her own, to kind of gain this confidence level. I try to do that. I try to be a very conscientious dad. And, like a couple days after this, she's going to turn 6. So there's these big milestones happening in her life, graduate kindergarten, going to go to first grade, and then her birthday's coming up. So we're walking up the stairs and we're getting to the truck, and I'm like, hey, you know what? You got yourself your first library card. That's you've arrived. You're moving in at 6 years old in style. Good for you. I hope you feel proud of yourself. And she just was like, thank you, Dada. I felt that was a cool opportunity to take as a rite of passage, like getting your first. I wasn't into the library when I was a kid. I was not. But, to your point, and we'll get to it, is I felt that because she loves books and we read so much, and she's not on a device because we don't believe in that stuff. We're trying to hold off as much as we can.
Good.
Oh yeah.
Good.
I felt she was just probably in book paradise at that time, and she was big time. Big time. We actually took a picture. I took a picture of her in the library holding the card, and I didn't notice this
Perfect.
when I took a picture of her, but couple days afterwards, I'm going through my phone. I'm looking at the pictures, and she was actually standing on one leg, so it looks like she has one leg. It's really funny, dude. Anyway, it was a really beautiful moment, being a dad, and I can't stress enough how important it is to, my takeaway from this personally is I will find myself getting in my own head and saying to myself, like, I don't want to go to the library. I just want to go home. I got office work to do. I got this, got that. I got so many things to do. And then I had to stop myself and be like, no, dude, don't be a jerk. This could possibly be a big day for her. Take advantage of that moment, So I did.
Dude, what if she becomes a writer?
Dude, I know.
What if she, like, this is what started the journey for something like that? That's awesome. I grew up going to the library every Saturday. My mom, she would take us. I have a brother, 2 sisters, younger sisters, and my brother's older. And every Saturday, she would take us to the library. We loved it because the library used to have this time where somebody would come and read, and there's a bunch of kids and they do activities. And I still remember it to this day, bro. It was a lot of fun growing up at the library. Now, as a kid, it's mind blowing. So much information, so many different books. Obviously, I stuck at the comic book side because that's where I was like, oh my God, this is awesome. But at the same time, it's like you get to explore and it's a big deal. So I remember when I took my daughter to get her first library card, and we did the same thing. She took a picture with it. She was super excited.
How old was she?
She was around 6 years old, 5, 6 years old. Same thing. Same thing. All the books she would come bring out were like kid books, super kid book friendly. The Cat in the Hat, that sort of stuff. But they also had, I don't know about your library, but they had like movies. Yeah. When I was going, they had movies. You could rent movies, or even tapes. You could rent tapes back then. Yeah. So we would go to the library with my kids, and they would rent some movies there, and they would get some books. It's like a whole experience, bro. Yeah. It's beautiful. It's awesome.
Do your kids still like to go to libraries? I mean, is it like a thing?
Well, right now, no, because our library, they tore it down and they're rebuilding it. So no, not right now. There's still the one in Coachella. We live in Coachella, but we're closer to the Indio side. We're literally on the border. You cross the street and you're in Indio already. Mm-hmm. And the Indio library is a lot closer. So we rarely head into the Coachella library side of town. Mm-hmm. So no, not right now.
There's certain things there's certain adventures that I like to do with her, and one of them is going to get donuts. Okay, and I'll try and pick a different donut shop every time we go and get one, and so it's like an adventure.
Why'd you put donuts in quotations?
I did.
You get donuts, right? You do get donuts.
I did do quotations. I did this.
Said donuts.
Did I?
I think you did. I on the replay. Hey,
replay that.
Comment. Whoever's viewing this, comment if he did it, because I could have sworn you went donuts, and it made me think, why would he go donuts? Are they like healthy donuts or like?
That's weird. I didn't even notice I did that. Well, my apologies if I did.
Nah, I'm just calling it out.
I am sorry about that.
Okay.
Okay.
But anyways, you go eat donuts and go to different donut shops.
Yes, go to different donut shops, and she digs that, and it's fun. But now I think I'm going to create like another different type of adventure and do go to different libraries.
I'm going to tell you, like even if it's not different libraries, just the fact that if you say, okay, Saturdays we go to library.
Yeah.
Like, it becomes a thing for them at that age. Mm-hmm. I can't wait for Saturday.
Well, dude, that's what it is with donuts, man, right now. Yeah. And she likes getting a donut before we go to church, too. So if we do have to go get a donut before church, we got to go, like, way early. So I tell them, like, you better get your buns up, girl, first thing Sunday morning.
You're a morning guy. You are.
Well, dude,
like, what time do you wake up?
4:45.
Dang,
quarter 5. and I'm outside doing my workout routine at like between 5:15 and 5:20.
And their family still asleep?
My wife is already at the gym.
Dang.
Yeah, she's a grinder, dude. She'll get up at 4 a.m. and then hit the road a quarter after.
Man.
And then I'm in the backyard doing my thing with my prison setup, is what I call it.
The yard.
The yard.
The prison yard.
Yard.
But listen, real quick.
Really quick about a library. If any of the listeners, if you ever go to Borrego, Deanza Borrego, they have a really awesome library. And I don't even like libraries. I'm not a bookworm by any stretch. Actually, I have become,
Neither am I, dude, but I find them very interesting.
No, they're cool, dude. I have become a bookworm now because I joined the Iron Council, and we have a book of the month.
There you
so
go.
I have become a reader of books now, which is a good thing because I never used to pick them up and read them.
I'll usually have like ChatGPT read them.
I'm sure you do. I'm sure you do.
I'm lazy, bro.
I'm not even gonna get into that.
I've become literally like the new kids. Like, I don't want to think. Just tell me what I need to do.
Oh, don't do that. Don't succumb to that, bro.
I know.
God will not want you to do that. God will want you to think for yourself, my friend.
You know what? I'm not gonna let you bypass or go super fast on the fact that you said you go to church. I know you and me we've been friends for a while, and I know you weren't going to church. You just recently started going to church. We've had these conversations, you and me, on our private. And you know, the listeners know I'm a believer. I believe in God. You know, I try to live my life the best way I can, but I was super excited to hear when you started your journey going to church. So I want you to talk to me about that a little bit.
Wow, dude, that's a long conversation, which I'm happy to share about. Well, I don't even know where to start, Pete, really, but I don't know where to start.
What made you literally froze?
I did?
You froze like this. I was like,
connection.
wow, okay. No, but real quick.
Yeah. Well, this ain't quick. This is not a quick talk.
I know. Well, to help out, what made you make that decision to explore, having a relationship with God? What was it for you?
It just wasn't one thing, right? My walk with God has been a particular trek in my life. It's stepping stones, to give you a visualization. It's just been, some stepping stones are close to each other,
Mm-hmm.
and then some are like really far from each other. So I've had to like leap or take a couple steps or leap. And in between those leaps have been years of just not believing at all, and then other years have been like I have felt a connection. But the majority of the time it has been, I felt that I wasn't good enough to go to church. I wasn't good enough to be there. Very intimidated, but to even go in any church, whether it's a Catholic church or Christian church, whatever denomination.
Mm-hmm.
I backpacked Europe in 2001. Of course, there's cathedrals everywhere in Europe, and they're like huge, dark and musty. You walk in there and it's like dun 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 dun. Like that's the feeling that I had.
Yeah.
Not like uplifting and like
Welcoming.
Correct. That's
okay.
Just how it was processed in my head. But I would say within this last 10 months ish, was mostly because of my daughter, man. Our daughter, I think, brought me closer. She goes to a Christian school, and she's learning Bible verses, and and I want to learn too. In fact, when she first started at the school, she'd have a weekly Bible study or verse, like a verse, and I'm like, what is this? In my head, I'm like, I don't even know what this is, and obviously, I'm trying to guide our daughter to with her relationship with God. and I want to play a part in that, you know. And I
Well,
look,
let me ask you real quick. Don't
yeah,
I'm going to interrupt during this
sure,
conversation
I
because
know,
I have
I know
questions.
you're very passionate, and I will
I
respect your interruptions.
oh yeah. um. Oh my God, I forgot what I was going to say. Okay, hold on. You said okay. As a, I'm gonna say it like this. As a non-believer, um, what made you put her in a Christian school?
I wouldn't say I was a non-believer.
Oh, okay,
I
okay.
wasn't an
You
atheist.
okay? You knew there was God. You
Oh, I
believed there
believed
was
in
a
it. I
God, but
believe
your
it.
your
Yeah,
your relationship with Him wasn't
I
what
would
it
say
is now.
it was. Let's say that again.
I'd say your relationship with God wasn't what it is now.
Oh, no
Obviously,
way, dude.
yeah. So
No
what made
way.
you? What
It's
made you decide? You know what? I'm gonna put her in a Christian school.
public schools around us teach agendas and not topics. And we felt that it was necessary for our kid to be in an environment where they would be taught subjects and topics rather than agendas and have a good moral compass going into this world.
But don't you feel? I'm gonna play devil's advocate. But don't you feel that sending her to a Christian school, it's still an agenda, but just a different agenda?
Sure. And
But
and we choose what agendas we want to follow, right?
exactly.
And so with that being said, Pete, the question to myself and for my family is, what agendas do I want my family to follow that's nurturing, that feeds the soul properly, right? Um so it was up to us to follow what agenda, you know, we want to
Yeah.
feed our
What aligns with your core values?
correct. And our core
Gotcha.
values don't align with some of the agendas that are being taught in public schools. That's it.
Cool.
Plain and simple, you know? And folks
Cool.
that want to go that direction, have a good time. And folks that go into
Exactly.
our direction, we're having a good time.
Yeah.
That's it,
Yeah.
man. You know?
Yeah.
No bad bones about it. It's just we have the liberty and the freedom to choose the environment that we want. And so that's
Yeah.
why we chose the one that we want. And thank goodness that we did.
She's learned a lot. She's had a
She's
good experience.
yeah. And our so with that being said, there are these Bible verses that, you know, I'm looking into with her, and I'm like, how can I compliment her learning these things? And I go on to YouTube, and there's like cartoon versions of some of these things, like the prodigal son.
Perfect.
Yeah, and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, I understand this. No,
I've heard this before.
I've heard this before, and it didn't make any sense to me whatsoever. Maybe like 5% of it would make sense to me. But it's like, oh, I put this kid version cartoon on, and I'm like, oh, now I get it. Whatever works, right?
That's funny.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
pretty.
yeah.
It is pretty funny, but it was effective, right? The other thing too, Pete, is I don't know why, but my heart is just more open to it now, and it resonates with me now. Like a lot of it makes sense to me now. Like before, it never did. Like I couldn't like relate. And I'm trying to find an example for you, but I just can't right now, unfortunately. It was
Well,
off the
I know
cuff question.
no,
And I
no,
would
it's
rather
okay.
have I would rather have a maybe when we were talking
No, no, no.
something.
That's okay. We've had conversations, and on the last episode, we did talk about your issues with drinking. Do you mind talking about that?
Not at all, dude. Of course.
Okay, so you were mentioning how like it was just a weekend thing, and that's what you did while you were working on your car, right?
Yeah. Just working on the house in general, just general chores and projects around the house. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah. I go ahead.
go ahead. No, you go ahead.
Um, the reason why I'm going to share this is because I want to help other people.
Yes.
And it's not something I'm really proud about that I used to do. It's embarrassing. I've definitely been a roach. about with
That's
alcohol.
roach behavior.
Totally roachy behavior, man. And
Yeah.
really to that point.
And real quick, let me interrupt you right here. The reason I'm bringing this up is because I feel it's a very, very powerful testimony and story of yours that I feel that a lot of people can learn from, and it could impact people's lives. So that's why I brought it up, and
Yeah,
with
that's
all
great.
respect.
No, I'm grateful that you have, because when you and I have conversations on the phone together, man, we have good conversations, and we're trying to transfer that into this podcast, right?
Yes.
Um, my relationship with alcohol, dude, I've been consuming it since I was 8 years old. Bottom line, and I had an older brother, and we partied. You know, my brother was 7 years older than me. I'm 6 3/4 or whatever. And when he partied with his friends, I partied too. So from 8 years old to my 40s, been consuming this poison. Um, in September 2023, I was completely overserved, and I'm like thinking to myself, dude, this is not good. Like I gotta change my ways. So from that point on, I became conscientious about my relationship with alcohol. And so I slowly eliminated certain times of when I would drink. Like, I'm not going to pre-party before I go out to dinner. Done, right? I'm not going to pre-party if I'm going over a friend's house. I'm not going to pre-party when I go to, a concert. And then it went from not go now I'm at the concert. Well, I didn't pre-party, so can I make it without having to drink at this concert? Yep, sure can. Done. So it's like I challenged myself throughout the course of time in these certain environments. Um, but it got to the point where, okay, now I'm solid if I go out to dinner, don't drink, right? But then when I would come home from dinner, then I would have a cocktail or two. I was still
Hmm.
doing that. I was breaking habits of like, don't go to the liquor store on Friday after work. Dude, it's really, very, us men, some of us men, we go to work, we work hard, and we play hard. Like that's the
Hmm.
deal. That's the culture. Like that was my culture, dude. It's work hard, play hard. Like that's what I do. So after Friday's full of work, my drinking was Friday through Sunday. Like that was my drinking habit. So I didn't drink during the week, which doesn't make it any better, by the way. Um, and I would yeah, I would go like finish work on Friday, go to the liquor store, pick up a bottle of booze, and then the bottle of booze would be pretty much almost done by Sunday. That was the habit, and everything's kind of slowly started to come down into a funnel, and it got to this point at the bottom of the funnel where the pattern is I would drink Friday night, Saturday afternoon, and then some on Sunday. And that was the habit. And what I would do is I was starting to use it as a tool to get things done around the house. And I found myself doing that. And I'm like, and I'm not just talking a couple cocktails, dude. I'm like, I'm drunk, dude. You know,
Hmm.
I hate to admit that, but that's keeping it real. And I'm like, Jay, this is bad, dude. Like you got to change your ways, man. And the thing is like I couldn't visualize not drinking alcohol. Like that was the biggest thing for me. It's like, dude, JayMoney not drinking and partying, like that doesn't look right to me. Like I can't just like stop and be sober. That's gonna be hard, and that doesn't look possible. But the one thing that really changed it up for me mentally was using the word relationship for me. There's so many different ways that people can stop drinking, and that's their thing. Whatever works, man. Like there's so many different tools that you can put in your toolbox to help you stop drinking alcohol. But for me, it was the word relationship, because when I first heard relationship, I'm like, okay, well, that resonated with me the most because it has been part of my life. Booze, my buddy Booze has been my buddy for a very, very long time. It's been part of my culture. It's been part of my life. And to say goodbye to a friend like that is hard, you know. That's how it was for me in my head, because it's like a connection. I hang out with my buddy. who's that I love to drink with, well, now I'm not going to be able to drink anymore. I'm not drink. Let me articulate that for a
So if you
second.
can't drink, you can't hang out with them because there's nothing to do.
What do we do?
Because you're
Like,
so
what,
you,
what,
yeah,
what
you're
are you
so
going to
used to
do,
just
Jay?
drinking.
I can't drink with
Yeah,
my whiskey drinking buddy and get wasted and laugh and giggle and act like a
because
jackass.
that's what we do.
Because that's what we
Right.
do.
Yeah.
That just seemed daunting to me, dude. Daunting. But it's not. It is what I made it up in my mind, dude. So now it got to like, drinking non-alcoholic beverages. They're okay. They're expensive as hell, which is so unfair. Like, that's totally,
That's crazy.
it's crazy, dude. It's such BS, man. It's just like, oh, a 6-pack of a non, I'm not going to plug them, a 6-pack of a non-alcoholic, unless you want to sponsor the show.
I know. Give us a call.
Give us a call for people that want to live an alcohol-free life,
There you
Give
go.
us a call. We are, it's like $14 for a 6-pack of this non-alcoholic beer. And it's like, what, dude? Like, that's like forcing you to
Damn.
drink in some cases for some people, I'm sure, So it's really tilted, and it doesn't, this society is not built around wellness. It's built around poison, unfortunately.
That's so true.
Yeah, man. I kind of lost my train of thought. I'm sorry.
Well, I'm just gonna plug in real quick. Like,
relationship.
yes, relationship.
It was easier for me to manage this relationship by naming it a relationship. My buddy
Gotcha.
Booze. And so it got to where it's like, okay, I'm really gonna dig my heels in now. And it's like, I had this. Like, we would go to like this amusement park, and they have really good IPA beers there. And typically what I would do is I would get like 3 of them, man, down there. They're like 9% alcohol. And like traditionally I would have like 3 and be completely buzzed at this amusement park. And I'm like, now that I'm conscientious at this point, we're at this amusement park again, and I've really regulated myself big time with alcohol at this point. And I had one, and I was happy, and it was ice cold, and I took 2 big gulps, and it's like, and when it first hits your lips, and it's so good. And then I'm like halfway through it, and I'm like, I'm starting to get a headache. I'm like, dude, this sucks. And I end up and finish the beer because I don't want to, waste it. And then I actually felt like crap. But typically what I would do is I would go grab another one and drink another one so I wouldn't feel like crap. And then get home and then drink more so I wouldn't feel like crap. And that was kind of the habit that I would typically be in that certain outing. But that day was the day that I was like, I'm kind of done with this. Like, I'm done with feeling like crap. I'm just done with feeling like a fog. Like like I was still being productive, and I was still active, still doing my workouts.
You said when you would drink, it would help you focus and you'd get a lot of stuff done.
Dude, I would get a huge dopamine fix, dude. Huge.
Yeah.
Like I drank 6 Red Bulls or something, man. Like, when I would get drunk like that, I'd get so much energy. It'd be like, let's go. Let's get all this work done. Let's just power through it. And I would have a high level of production around my house. But dude, that ain't good, man. But maybe getting the stuff done was the addiction for me, because I love to work
The
anyway.
result.
Huh?
The result.
Right. Maybe there was some correlation there. I don't really know. And I didn't really want to focus too much on that. It's just like, I know the cause and effect. Now what are you going to do with this data, Jay? Go to work. So after that day at the amusement park, I just, I had 1 beer. I didn't get another one. And then the following day, I felt good, and I'm thinking to myself, well, you know what? I think I'm just kind of done. And let's see how far I can go without drinking anymore. And the first 2-3 weeks was challenging. It was challenging. Like, breaking the pattern of the Friday through the weekend deal was challenging. I had support through a couple of my teammates in the Iron Council. They helped me out a lot. They were there. They've been there for me.
For
Um,
those of you who don't know what the Iron Council is, break it down.
Let me
Because
break
that's
that
a
down too.
good program. Yeah, man. Just a quick summary, just for something quick, so they know what, because they hear you say it.
Um, all right, I'll just do like 1 minute, and
Just
then
quick, just something quick.
yeah, the Order of Man, the Iron Council. It's a men's organization. It's a men's group, and it's not religious or anything like that. There is some of that component to it, but it is a group of men that help each other out with things, and we have weekly Zoom meetings. You're on a team of men. You come up with a battle plan for every quarter, condition, connection. There's 4 quadrants to it. I can get into that a lot more
Yeah, yeah,
later.
yeah.
But if you want to know more about it, and I didn't know that we're plugging this, but
Let's plug, dude. It's a good thing
it's
for people, so why not plug it?
you're right. Go Ryan Mickler is the founder of it, and it's been around for 10 years. And go check out his podcast, Order of Man podcast by Ryan Mickler. Put a
Perfect.
link up, dude, in your
Yeah, on the description, I'll put a link up
put a link up
for
for
sure.
it, dude. I think there's some justice to that. So I was, if I wasn't in the Iron Council, dude, I don't think I'd be able to get through that of being alcohol free, honestly, because I've just been big support through them, dude. Big support through a couple of guys in there. um, yeah, dude. So it's been like 70 plus days of being alcohol free. One of my teammates, I did a thing called a hot seat. In the Iron in a hot seat is if you want to talk about something that's really bothering you, and then you're basically subjected to all of your teammates firing away at what they want to tell you or their opinion or supporting you in any way, whether they're talking some hardcore talk with you or going soft. It's an opportunity for them to go hard or soft in the paint on you, and
But
to
it comes from a place of love
absolutely, dude, place of support. And dude,
and
there's a lot of
support.
men out there that lone wolf shit. They put the whole world on their shoulders. Sorry, I'm getting emotional. Dang it.
No, it's okay.
Sorry, dude. Give me a second.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. Take your time.
That hit me again. June's men's mental health month.
Yes. And that's
Excuse
why
me.
we're talking about this.
Yeah, I didn't
it's
know
very
that, but
important.
yeah, it's weird that it's kind of weird timing. There's a lot of dudes out there, Pete, that put the whole world on their shoulders. Got to run a business, got to run a family, want to be good to their wives. That's a lot of pressure. A lot of pressure, dude. These dudes in Iron Council, I'm part of a tribe now, man. And I'm not alone. Yeah, I got my buddies, that I went to school with, throughout the years. But my teammates, these are guys that don't really know me, but they're starting to get to know me. And they give real advice, whether you want to hear it or not, But yeah, again, like
That's your wolf pack.
it's my wolf pack, homie. Yeah, dude. It's yeah, it is. I've built some really strong relationships with some of these men in the Iron Council, dude. I'm so grateful, so grateful. My life has changed so much, dude, over this course of a year, man. Over a little bit over a year, I've been a member. And it's going up and up and up, man, because of it. Honestly, yeah, I feel so good, dude, not using alcohol anymore. I feel great, man. One of my teammates, man, he really kicked my balls when he said this. And this was like, dude, this was a while ago, man. This was months and months and months ago. I had a hot seat, like I was saying, and I told him, like, dude, I'm I got something to tell you guys. And they didn't know. None of them knew. And I admitted that I was having a problem with alcohol, a bad one. And one of my teammates is like, straight out, he's from back east, dude. So he says it how it is. I love it. You know, he's a good dude. He's just like, yo, yeah, well, how's your workouts going when you're doing that kind of stuff? And I'm like,
Mhm.
that's something I want to hear, you know? And I'm thinking, and I told him straight out, I'm like, pretty roached out, actually, you know? And like, if I'm going to live up to the standard of don't be a roach, take the right approach, then I got to put my alcohol in check too, you know? And for somebody to call me out like that, dude, I gained great value out of that, dude. And that's what being a man is all about, Pete. When another man calls you out on something and they're like, "Hey bro, you're XYZ, you know, you're playing a victim card or you're drinking too much or anything like that," you know, that's a true friend when they put you on the spot like that, you know? And you got to listen to that shit. Not just
Yeah,
discard it.
the good stuff is hard to listen to sometimes.
What's
You know.
the Bible verse, homie? I think it's one of my favorites, and I swear I hope I don't bash this, but I think it's John 8:32. I think that's what it is. It's the truth shall set you free. Fact check that, would you?
Yeah.
Please, in the meantime. And I've actually liked that Bible verse for a long time. A long time. 15 plus years. Wow, we're really going all over the place today. But yeah, dude, I'm
You
very
know what?
grateful.
It's like you said, it's men's mental health
It's so weird
awareness.
timing that we're talking about that. Yeah,
So
dude.
it's very important. It's a very important topic, especially with the pool pros out there that are out there on their own, taking on all the responsibility, taking on everything that comes with it, as well as being a dad, as well as making sure you provide a shelter and home, food for your family, and everything that comes with being a man. Well, a true man, you know, being responsible, and it's a lot of pressure. And I know there's a lot of guys out there that struggle, and like you said, they're doing it by themselves. They don't have somebody to open up with and just let all that out with. And I think it's very important that we find someone that we could share this with, that we find someone that we could vent with, that'll help us, that'll be there with us, for us, and motivate us. And you know, it's very important. I know it's, and I hate to do this to you, but your brother,
Yeah.
you know, and I know this is the reason why you got emotional. It's because it touches on that chord, you know. So it's very important that we be there for each other and be there for one another, for sure.
Yeah. Um, I mean, he's really the reason why I do what I do, you know? Yeah, if anybody's feeling suicidal, man, dial 988, man. 988. That's the suicide hotline. Talk to somebody.
You
Tell,
said it was on verse John, on chapter John.
yeah, I think it's
I mean
John
book
8:32, I
32.
think.
It
Isn't it?
says, then you will know the truth, and the truth will set you free.
Awesome, I got it. I have it. I
You had it.
got it by heart.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah, but no, your brother had his struggles. Your brother went through his thing. You know, talk about that. I know it's hard, but it's like there's people out there that are going through that same situation. They need to know.
Yeah, I don't my interpretation, you know, because I don't know exactly what was going on in his mind, but my interpretation, and I want to be very respectful for all my friends and family that might listen to this, but this is just my interpretation. Perhaps he was feeling he wasn't well equipped for the pressures of being a provider and a protector, you know, and trying to do maybe all of that at once, run a biz, um, family, all that stuff. Maybe perhaps, you know, he slipped into depression, dude. And it just it bogged him down. But I think that it was a lot of the pressures, you know, that us men go through, dude. You know, we put dude, us Us guys put a lot of pressure on our shoulders, man. I mean, I know that. I mean, dude,
The
there's.
world puts a lot of pressure on our shoulders.
But the thing is, Pete, you're right. The thing is like, I've had my dark days. I ain't perfect, man. I have my dark days where I'm like, I get, I can turn into a bitch. I can, you know. I've let it out on my wife a few times, man. Maybe more than she wants to hear. Chicks don't want to hear that stuff, dude. They want you. They want their men.
Y-
They
to
want their
be in
men to.
control.
They want their men to handle it.
Yep.
You could talk about it, but they want you to handle it. And so, and handling it is not burying it in your gut, putting it on your shoulders, and doing it alone. You can't do things alone, man. Men were not equipped to operate alone. Men were equipped to run in packs, dude.
So why do you think we keep going back to that as men? Why do you think we keep, you know what? On my own, I got this. I don't need nobody.
It's ego and pride and
Past experiences maybe as well.
maybe. I
A
mean,
lot
maybe
of
the
people letting
environment,
you down.
like maybe the environment that you were raised in. I have no idea. But then also in society too, like society has made a man look, toxic, and dumb.
Oh my
I mean,
God.
look at some of these
Yeah.
sitcoms from back in the year or back in the day, like look at Al Bundy, sitting on a sofa with his hand down his pants, That ain't a man, dude. That's a slouch. But they're portraying a man to be that way, or uh look at some of these movies, man, with these gosh, I don't know. I'm not a big movie guy anymore, because now I just watch cartoons and stuff. I can tell you about cartoons now, but not anything.
We'll talk all day about cartoons.
I mean, dude, look at Jason Bourne, like look at that type of movie where it's like, he's the lone wolf. He
Yeah.
can take on the whole world by himself. Dude, that ain't realistic, man. That's a thing. The other thing too I want to say is like, you are not alone. It's amazing. Like when I got into to the Iron Council, I really truly thought of some of these things I'd feel alone about. No way, dude. It's like the analogy that I used with a really dear friend of mine, dude. I consider him a brother, dude. Is like, the whole saying is like, oh, we're all in the same boat.
Mhm.
I told my buddy, I'm like, dude, we're in different boats, but we're in the same harbor.
Mhm.
We're all in the same harbor, man. But we're just
Just
all
different- just
we're all
different
these
boats.
solo captains, dude, in these boats in this harbor, dude. Trying to just figure it out, man. Trying to figure it out, But
I think a lot of people grow up not having the proper example of what a real man is, and we all grow up with that. So what teaches us what a real man is like you said, TV shows, online, things like that. So it's a false understanding of what a real man is, and that we're trying to live up to be,
I agree, 100%. Like I know, like I'm beginning to understand now this past year, like what it is to be a man. What it really is, Like I'm putting the work into it, And I'm not perfect, but I'm working on it, Like what are you doing today to become a better man? Like what are you doing today? Like, and every day I put that to work, whether it's a book that I'm reading or something that we're talking about in the Iron Council. Like I'm going to work.
I see little
Yeah,
hands.
I know.
I see little hands.
I know. Hang on for a second. Hang on, really quick. Hang on.
Handle. All right. Jay's talking to his daughter right now. That's why it's quiet. He muted the mic, but I think it's a very important topic and a subject that we need to talk about is mental health. Guys, mental health is it's very important because it's a very dangerous world out there, and if we're not there for one another, then you're riding this alone, and that's when it gets hard, and that's when those evil thoughts start creeping up in your mind. And it's interesting because you realize that, like Jay said, like if you just get out of that mentality and actually ask for help or share with somebody, you'll realize that they're going through the same thing, that you're not the only one that's going through it. And it brings a lot of stuff into perspective, right, Jay?
Oh yeah, dude. It definitely, yeah, it does. I've gotten a lot of perspective, um, especially being alcohol free now. I've gotten a lot more perspective. It's almost a different dimension of thinking now. It's weird. But like that's part of my growth, dude. Like not drinking alcohol anymore. I never even thought in a gazillion years I would not drink alcohol, Pete. No, like impossible. No way. Like early on, 2023, of being sober and not drinking alcohol, that didn't even, I didn't think that would even be possible. But now it is. And I feel so good. Dude, it's so nice to wake up Saturday morning, Sunday morning, and Monday morning and feel like, let's do this. I'm doing morning workouts now, in the morning, in the weekends, early AM. I'm not dragging, feeling like a roach anymore. And like, hey, I got to live up to my standards, right? Not be a roach. So like,
Don't be
why
a
drink the
roach.
poison? Like, why drink this poison? You know?
Now let's bring it into the pool industry. Um, how has that affected or changed? How you run your business, how you service your pools, how you start your day.
Well, I'm more focused. I'm definitely more focused. Yeah. And that's probably my largest takeaway. And also, hang on another second, dude.
Life as a dad. Don't worry about it. You're good. You're good.
My apologies.
No, no, no worries. And you know what? I'll cut I'll cut the little pieces off
All right,
on the
thanks.
editing.
Um,
Yeah. If I
shoot, man.
figure it out.
I'm trying to pivot here. Oh yes, focus. Yes, focus. Um, Let me give you an example, dude, of business and not drinking alcohol anymore. Like there was a moment where I uh, created a standard, like a standard operating procedure, which was anything that has to do with business, I'm not consuming alcohol. Like,
Mm.
like I did these little steps along the way with my relationship with alcohol, and one of them was, okay, work stuff, no more booze, dude. You're donezo. Done. Can you do that, Jay? Yeah, that's fine. So I had like non-alcoholic beers and stuff in my hotel room. So like I'd have like one or two. Great. I have the taste. Great. Pre-partied in my head. I pre-partied, whatever. And now I go to this function where typically I would be boozed up, dude. And I'm not. And I'm clear-minded. And I'm interacting with folks that some of them are drinking and some of them aren't. And for the ones that are, I'm like, it's hard to engage and talk about business. Like I don't prefer to talk about business under the influence of stuff like that,
Hmm. You're
If
more
it's like
clear-headed.
you're more clear-headed, man. And like why not, and like my perspective after I started that habit, that good habit, was like why, like after doing that, I'm like, it's so much more rewarding because now I'm more present with some of these folks now that I'm talking to and interacting with and talking about important things. So I was like, I want to be clear-headed, man. Like, why would I want to be that way? Um,
Yeah.
there's
It's all
value.
about It's all about becoming the best version of yourself possible.
Yeah, dude.
And that's chipping away at the stuff that's, not allowing for you to get there. For me,
Yeah,
I have
dude.
mine as well that I'm working on, and
Yeah.
you know, definitely.
It's just those things, man, that you can slowly chip away at, to make to be a better version of yourself, And one of those things for me, with a lot of them, but one of those was the alcohol. It's like I'm done. So 70 plus days into it, like I feel great, and it's like I don't really need it, man. Like I've subjected myself into some of these environments where I thought I would be my shoot, what's the word, man? My anticipation in getting into some certain environments, whether it's like a wedding or a hangout with a buddy that I've seen in a long time, or a group of friends at a barbecue. I'm like, oh great, dude, I'm not going to be drinking alcohol. Oh, how am I going to get through this? It's going to be a challenge. It ain't a challenge. I'm good. I'm fine. I'm great. First few weeks were tough, but now it's like, I'm good. And dude, it's just like when I come home from those type of events, like I'm driving home or I wake up, I seriously say, gracias a Dios, dude. Like I'm not drinking alcohol anymore. No, seriously, dude. I'm not saying that to be
Yeah.
funny. I'm just saying that to be real. Is like, I feel so much better now, dude. Like so much better. I'm just kicking ass, dude. I love it.
Yeah.
Man.
One thing that I've been struggling with, and for a long time, one of my biggest struggles has always been food.
Yeah.
I've let it get out of control, and I've gained weight. I hit the 300-pound mark, and I was like, "What the hell?"
Yeah.
And it's I'm at that. I'm 42 years old, and I'm like, you know what? I need to stop with the roach behavior when it comes down to my health. One, because I want to be here for my grandkids. I want to be able to meet them whenever they arrive. You know what I mean? Whenever they get here, whenever that time is, I want to be able to be here, and not only just be here, but be able to be healthy enough to play with them, to lift them up, to do what I want to, spend time with them. And in regards of business, being overweight affects, because you get tired easily while you're cleaning pools. Your back's always hurting. Your muscles, your all of that is
your
just
heart.
yeah.
Your heart. I'm just gonna say
Everything.
it. I'm
Not
just gonna
only
say
that,
it.
like
Your heart is thumping twice as hard as it should be, homie.
yeah, and even when doing repairs, it's like being able to be in certain angles,
Agility.
and it's like yeah, your belly gets in the way and stuff like that. And it's like, so I've been working on that. I started working on that, and I got up to 315. That's where I was at. If I'm being honest with myself, I was at 315, and I have dropped to 286.
Awesome.
So I'm slowly chugging away. I still eat stuff, but I'm doing portion control, paying attention to my body, as in when I'm eating. Like if I'm full, I stop. I grew up in a home where it was like, my mom was always like, you eat everything that's on the plate.
Yeah.
You don't throw food away. You don't.
Yep.
You eat what's on the plate.
Yep.
So that's become one of those bad habits that's been hard to break, because I'm so used to it.
Well, you transitioned from getting clean off of substance.
Yes.
And now your addiction has probably shifted to food.
Well, that's the thing. I have a very addictive personality. If I'm keeping it real, I have a very, very addictive personality. And at first it was crystal meth. I was really, well, first it started with weed, I wasn't a big drinker. I would drink here and there, but it was mostly, I was a pothead from the moment I would wake up to the morning I would go to bed. I was always smoking.
Yeah.
And then it jumped from there to crystal meth. And I got hooked for like 3-4 years doing that. And that's what took me down the rabbit hole of losing everything and being homeless and being out in the street. Was the addiction to that. So my addictive personality, has caused for me to fill it with something else. So yes, if I remove it, now it's got to be filled with something.
Yeah.
So I haven't been able to. Well, there was a period in my life where I was able to transition from doing all that bad stuff to like working out, and I started losing weight and stuff like that. But then I started with a bad eating habits, and then before I knew it, food became my new drug.
Yep.
And it was like, I'm just gonna, dude, I want tacos, I want a torta, I want this, I want to go everything. It's crazy how everything, every celebration, every moment, everything is surrounded around food
And alcohol.
and
alcohol. Everything is surrounded by alcohol, dude. You name it, alcohol's there. Boom. Weddings, funerals, birthday parties, you name it. Anything.
And it's the same
Booze.
thing with both. If you don't consume it or if you don't eat, your homies are like,
what's wrong
why
with
not?
you?
What's wrong with you?
I know.
Yeah.
It's like,
So if you're not eating, they're like, why aren't you eating?
what's
You
wrong,
should be
mijo?
Yeah, it's like you're thinning away. What? There's still a lot left. But it's the
I'm
same
here
thing.
to help you. I'm so here to help you with that, dude. And I could totally help
You
you with
have
all
been.
that stuff.
You
Okay.
have been. But I'm still a work in progress. My goal is to get to 250. That's my first stepping stone. Is to get to 250. How have I been doing it? Is little by little. It's cutting out portions. It's if I go get let's say I'm hungry, I'm out in the street, because that's how us pool guys, you already know, there's nothing healthy out there.
That's
like,
why you gotta pack it. You gotta pack it,
unless
homie.
you pack it. But if you don't pack it, then you're gonna go eat somewhere. But so I tell myself, okay, if that's the situation where I'm gonna go eat somewhere, then I'll get the burger, but I won't get the fries and the Coke because I have water. So I'll just get the burger. Or if I'm gonna go get tacos, I don't get the rice and the beans. I just get the tacos.
Do you double up on your tortillas and your tacos?
No, hell no. I always take them out. I'm not big like, you know how the tacos have 2 tortillas on them?
Yes.
I always take one out off because it just feels like it's a lot of tortilla I'm a carnivore. Like I tell my wife, and this is what's been helping a lot. We'll go get carne asada, which isn't like the healthiest of meats.
It's better
but we do.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I was gonna say we try to cut off all the fatty stuff, and it's better than obviously what like another choice. But I tell her, just get me carne asada. We'll grill it on Monday, all of it, 4 pounds, boom, grill it, and then just prep it for the week. I don't need sides as long as I love carne, bro. I love meat. I'm like, I could eat that all day, and
That's
I just
fine.
need, and I'm like,
That's fine, dude.
chicken, meat, fish, whatever, you know. That's what I've been doing. I've been just kind of like trying to change what I eat, and I'm trying to get away from processed food. It's hard. Processed food is hard, and I'm a big snacker, bro.
I'm a snacker too, dude.
Doritos and chips and all that.
I'm a snacker too.
Yeah.
Man, I have so much to share with you on that stuff. Like, I think the next step for you is to get a scale, a food scale.
My wife has one. She's been doing that for me. That's how I've been dropping. We've been kind of focusing on that. You know?
I know, dude. The wheels.
It's all right, dude. It's all right. It's not about being like we're being professional. This is life, dude. You're a dad.
I got
it's
you.
part of it.
You're
It's
right. You're
part
right.
of it.
You're
Don't
right. You're
don't
right.
let it get to you.
All right. You're
Bro,
right.
I could see you stressing on it. Like,
I
no,
am.
dude.
I am.
That's
Thank
your
you
daughter.
for pointing that out. Thank you. No,
You're
you're right.
good.
I am. I'm trying to be present
good.
with you. That's all, dude. It's
Yeah.
It's a tough balance sometimes.
It is. It is.
You know, what's really helped me with food, which was like the next step for me, because I wouldn't, is weighing my food and knowing you say portion control, right? Like, what does portion control look like? For me is, because a lot of people ask me that on like my Instagram, you know, how do you get so lean? How this, how that? It's like, you know, what are you just eating? Like lettuce, bro? I'm like, you know, and lemon juice on. I'm like, no, I'm actually eating a lot of things that I really enjoy. you know, and it's like changing my body composition, you know, and there's certain stages to all that, and I'm not going to get into that. But the one thing that I will recommend to you that is going to be the next step for you, Pete, is water, gallon a day. I know you're doing that. Get yourself a sodium / electrolyte additive to it. Okay. Consume that every day. Just know that your body is working double time. Your internal organs, your bones, your organs are working double time for you, right? So just keep that in mind. What can Pete do to fuel his body to be productive out in that world, right? Like, it's so essential for you to take care of that, right? Because it's your moneymaker. Our bodies are our moneymakers, so we got to maintain them, dude. Like, that's the whole premise of don't be a roach, take the right approach. Thank you. Is that weigh your food. Like, if you're gonna do like a if you're gonna brown bag it or put it in a cooler or whatever, portion your carne asada out, dude. Like, get a bowl, a glass bowl or whatever, and hang on just a second.
Yeah.
Weigh your food out. Whatever you're consuming, just start weighing it. And with that being said, you'll start monitoring your calories, right? So it's like, for an example, if you're going to buy anything, like, let's say you're going to buy non-fat Greek yogurt, okay, or low-fat Greek yogurt, or just Greek yogurt. The regular Greek, like, get to know your labels. Like, that's what I had to do. It's such a pain in the ass at first, dude, but then it's like it goes in memory, you know? It's just like you're checking alkalinity. You already know how many drops to use, right? In that series.
Gotcha.
Okay, it's the same kind of thing, dude. It just becomes habit. So, like, non-fat Greek yogurt, you already you know that it's like, okay, in, like, for an example, if you want to have like a snack, I love snacking on the Blue Diamond vinegar and salt almonds. They're great, but there's a lot of fat content in it, but it's not a bad fat. Like avocados, great. They're a good superfood. They're good for you, but you gotta like, don't eat like 3 at a time, because that's like 1,500 calories, homie. That's a lot, but it's still good for you.
And who the hell eats 3 avocados?
I mean, I don't know. Somebody might like guacamole. You know, I have no idea. Right? You're gonna hear the background stuff going on.
You're good, Jay.
All right. So, like, the Blue Diamond salt and vinegar almonds, man, like, there's 28 grams in a serving, right? It's like it's like that'll literally fit in the palm of my hand, but, like, I already know it's a gram per almond, so it's like 28. So I already know that if I eat 28 of these almonds, then that's my portion, that's my serving, and it's like it's 170 calories, dude, and 28 nuts. Crazy, right? Like, you wouldn't even think
that's crazy.
It's nutty.
It's nutty.
Then it's yeah, huh? That's funny.
There you
go. Like cottage cheese, you know, like 112 grams of cottage cheese is.
Can I just say,
yes,
that I do not miss that.
What?
I do not miss having my kids all over the place, and I'm not able to, like, you know.
It's okay.
It's good. It's all right. But, like, I smile because I think it's cute, because I remember what it was like to try to get stuff done, and then your kids are like always trying to get your attention. It's funny. It's just funny to me because I'm not going through it anymore.
Well, yeah, and I know that I've been frustrated, you know, the past few minutes because of it. But listen, dude, at least it's not happening on one of these, dude. At least they're not doing this.
Yeah,
you know,
true.
And their face is melting off from the screen time. Like, she's She's cutting paper and she's drawing drawings and
Bro,
she's
being a
doing, she's
kid.
crafty, dude. It's all
They're
good.
being kids.
It's all good,
and
man.
it's normal. It's
Very
okay.
normal. I'd rather
Yeah.
I'd rather her do what she's doing
But
now than being on a
I'd
device.
rather it happen to you than happen to me.
That's funny. So
But anyways,
Start looking-
I know we
start
could go
looking-
really deep into food. There's so many things that we could that'll take another whole hour just trying to talk about what's healthy and not. We can make an episode on that.
here's the three things that our listeners can start to do to actually start taking care of their moneymaker, because our bodies are a moneymaker, dude. Number one, hydration. Okay, gallon a day. You're out there grinding, stay hydrated. Get a sodium and a electrolyte additive. Okay. Number two, eat good foods. If you're out, doing 3-4 squares of fast foods, number one, you're going to go broke, because it's going to be 15 to 16, 18 bucks per stop. Good luck with that. You're going to go broke. I'm not going to crunch the numbers right now, but it's going to total $2,000 a month. That's a lot of filter cleanings. Okay.
That's a lot of filter cleaning.
Yeah. Or let's. I have to install a pump per month just for me to eat fast food. Don't think so. I'm just ballparking.
I got
that.
you.
Okay,
Yeah.
I know. Someone's probably gonna roast me and like, you're doing a pump for $2,000, bro? No, I'm not. But I'm just saying. Gosh, I know. There's gonna be the firing squad.
Don't worry about the firing squad.
I
They're
know.
always like, oh, that's another one in the chamber.
Oh yeah. Load it up.
Yeah.
Fire away.
Oh,
Yeah.
how much for a pump? Oh.
Whatever, dude.
Yeah. You know what? If we worry about what they say, if we worry, everybody. That's the beauty of it being your business. It affects you, and you get to decide. People will criticize all they want,
Yes.
but at the end of it,
Yes.
it's your choice to how much you're going to charge and all that good stuff.
Number three. Number three. Stretch. Do some type of dynamic stretching. When
Drink water,
eat well,
eat healthy,
yes,
eat natural foods.
sure.
And
Like
then,
if you gotta go, like, for an example, if somebody's new to all this stuff, dude, like, I don't drink water, I don't need that. I drink a gallon, I drink 2 Gatorades. Okay, great. Well, that's Gatorade's sugar, dude. So have fun with that. You're gonna crash. Stay hydrated, dude. It's good for your bones, good for your muscles. Stay hydrated, dude. There's
somebody
so
told
much
me
science out there, man.
somebody told me if it comes from the ground, or if it's an animal, then you're good. But when it comes down to something being processed, or there's things being put into it, then that's when you have a problem.
Sure.
So that's what I've been thinking, like in my mindset, because I'm very like picky with my food, and it's hard for me to figure out what is healthy, what is not. I'm like, you know what? Chicken, fish, carne, beef, steak, salad, vegetables, fruits. Oh, well, fruits have sugar. I get it, but it's better than actually having a freaking cereal, or a soda, or you know what I mean?
Totally know what you mean.
So that's kind of what I've been doing, but I already been doing the drinking lots of water, especially out here, because you already know it's hot.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
especially we're out there cleaning pools, so that's a big one.
I mean, if somebody's new to all this stuff and they haven't implemented any of that, dude, it's just like, you can't just throw yourself into the fire. Like, you have to just start chipping away at it, dude. Drink half a gallon a day. Do that. It's still going to help. Do one stretch. Lay on your back. When you get home, lay on your back and pull your knees into your chest. Just do that. And lay there for 5 minutes. Put a timer on your phone. Lay there for 5 minutes and just bring your knees into your chest. Bring your knees into your chest. Breathe. That's easy. We have 5 minutes. And then try and eat good. Like, if you're running and gunning and trying to get something to eat, like maybe 1 out of the 3 times during your day that you're typically going to get, like Jack in the Box or Taco Bell or Dell or whatever, or Wendy's or you name it, like, go to like 7-Eleven and get like a banana and get like a protein bar. There's 200 calories in a protein bar, maybe 18 grams of protein. Get a banana, hard-boiled egg. Eat that instead. And you're not gonna feel like crap either. Like, just do those small steps. You gotta start small, man. And look at all that. Look at all those things as your relationship. Right? Your relationship to your business. Anyway.
Yeah.
I've preached a lot about that stuff. I want to try and help people with that, bro, because like you, dude, I love you, bro, and I want to see you around for a long time, you know,
Yeah.
and I want you to gain new habits, you know, with food and have a good relationship with food where now you're operating and you're feeling good. You're not getting burnt. I mean, dude, bro, you're doing 26 pulls in a day in one of your
Yeah.
days. That's a lot of strenuous work on your body, dude, and your heart. Your heart is going like, Pete, what are you doing, bro?
Yeah.
So, you know, I want to see you. I don't want to see you. I just want to see you live a long life and not have to be working your body that hard when you don't really have to. And you're on the right track. So continue doing what you're doing. You know, you're being conscientious, and that is all that we can do here, dude, is just be conscientious on what you do for your body, for your career, and your family. You want to be around for your family, you know?
Yeah.
Dude, I'm mid-40s, bro, and I got a 6-year-old, man. Like, I'm an old pops. I'm an old dad. You know, I want to be around for a while too, you know? And so like cutting this alcohol out, I know it's going to perhaps I'll be around a little bit longer because I'm not consuming that poison anymore.
So the whole point is to be the best version of yourself, to bring awareness to your mental health, which is a big portion of it as well. So because of the food that you put in your body, the alcohol you put in your body, the smoking you put in, whatever you're putting in your body will affect your mental health as well, because you're chemically imbalanced and you want to keep everything balanced.
Yeah.
You know, I struggled with anxiety, panic attacks, and all depression, all of that as well. And a big portion of it was due to what I was putting into my body.
And your mind.
And your mind.
And your mind, dude. It's a lot.
We don't realize how powerful our mind is.
It's very whatever you're feeding your mind and it's part of your body too, man.
Yeah.
So it's all that negative energy and all that stuff too.
Yeah. So we want to thank everybody for tuning in to the Pool Fool podcast. It was awesome having Jay. We're going to continue having Jay because Jay is awesome. And I feel that Jay's a big blessing for the Pool Fool podcast. And last episode where we had you, a lot of good feedback. So I appreciate you taking the time, Jay. Thank you so much for sitting down and talking with us.
Yeah, we have really good, like we said in our phone call a couple times, you and I have, we always have really good conversations over the phone. And we felt that it was time to transfer that onto the pod and bring a little bit more of that to your podcast, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
Instead of talking about filters and DE.
Which we'll still keep, we're going to, like today we were all over the place, but it's okay because I think the main point of it was mental, because of the month, because we're not celebrating, it's awareness.
Recognizing.
Mental health, recognizing.
Yep. Yeah,
you know,
dude.
So we wanted to share what we struggle with. We wanted to share the things that we go through and how we deal with them and how we're there for each other.
You guys saw right now. Exactly, dude.
Yeah, you guys got to hear, you know, what I struggle with food, and Jay's like right away got on it. It was like, oh, you need to do this.
Yeah, but and then with you guiding me along the way with my Christianity too. You've been a big instrumental part of that too, Pete. Like this divine timing with us, you know, like that's. I've told you this before, and I'll tell you again on the podcast. You've made a big impact on that for my, you know, in my life, dude. You know, so we have this complementary relationship between us, dude. You know, we've shared a lot of things with you know each other, where it comes to life and God, alcohol addiction. You know, just and you know your food, my alcohol, your food. You know, and it's necessary to operate the way that you and I are operating. You know, these dudes out there, they need to try and understand that. You know, and they can't, like, I can't do this stuff alone. You can't do this stuff alone. You know, we need each other, dude. So it's been a pleasure building a relationship with you, man.
Yeah, definitely, and to like we were saying, it's just to be the best version of ourselves. We need each other. Because you need somebody that's going to be truthful with you and come with you with love. And it's like, I'm going to say some things that are going to sound a little harsh, but just know that it's coming from a place of love, and B, it's because I care about you and I want to make sure that you A, succeed, B, that you're here for a long time. And those things are hard to hear, especially when you're living in that moment. You know, it's like you don't want to hear that stuff. You know, you don't want to have somebody telling you how to live your life or do your, but that's, like you said, it's just ego. That's all that is. And once you like remind yourself that this is coming from a place of love and it's helping you become a better version of yourself, you know, you're more open to it.
John
you know?
8:32, man.
John 8:32. There it is. Thanks a lot for everybody listening. Anything you want to plug, Jay? Any last words? Oh, here we go.
Wow.
I want to start doing this. Okay. So at the end of the episode, I want to, what advice do you have for the listeners? It doesn't have to be pool related. It doesn't have to be mental health. Just anything.
I got
what
it right
do you
now.
want?
I got it right now. Reach out to your sibling that you haven't spoken to in a long time and tell them that you love them. That's your challenge. Get that done. Put that in the bag. You're going through problems or something with one of your siblings or whatever. Reach out to him, say, hey, I've been thinking about you and I love you. Doesn't matter what the heck's going on. Just get it done. Have no expectations when you do that. Just get it done. That's my advice for the day.
You heard it here first, guys. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to reach out. Don't be stubborn.
Yeah.
Even mom, dad, doesn't matter. Like, you don't know how long you're gonna have them, you know. So
every day's a gift.
Don't be stubborn about it. There's no situation. Yeah. Just reach out for sure.
Right, brother.
Hey, real quick. We're going to right now when we stop the episode. Let it finish uploading. You'll see right there. You see on the top where it says 99% uploading.
Yeah.
Let it reach 100 before you disconnect. Okay? So that way it uploads.
People's ears are going to melt off because it's been an hour and 35 minutes.
I know. It's awesome, though. It's awesome. I loved it.
I did too, man. I did too.
Thanks, Jay.
I'm looking forward to next time.
For sure. All right, guys.
Have a good weekend.
See you on the next one. And enjoy. Peace.
Later.
Let's game so deep. Let's ride. From the valley to the masses, we know. Let it flow, let it flow, let it flow. Pool podcast. Let's vibe. Game so deep. Let's ride. From the valley to the masses, we know. Let it flow, let